Hello everyone, we're talking about Joao Felix and also Mudryk. Are they done deals? What's definitely happening? What you need to do is to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on anything that we have got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are definitely dedicated to bringing to you the latest right here. So I think let's begin. Whom should we begin with? Should we begin with Mudryk, or we should begin with one wonderful Joao Felix? So to be remembered that these are good football players, and they have been eyed by quite a number of football clubs. A big number of football clubs have been eyeing these football players. Anyway, we will see how it will definitely be moving. We'll see how this will definitely be going. But I think let's start with should we start with Mudryk or Joao Felix? Okay, let's start with Joao Felix. So for those of you who do not know who Joao Felix is, actually Joao Felix is a Portuguese football player who has been playing for Atletico Madrid for some time. For a very long period of time he's been playing for Atletico Madrid, and things have definitely been going on quite well for this gentleman, and he's been playing quite well. For those of you who watched the World Cup, you definitely realized that when he was playing in the World Cup, he definitely played quite well. He played very well in the World Cup, and he was recognized by a number of clubs. And after him putting an extraordinary performance at the World Cup, he was definitely eyed by quite a number of clubs, and very many clubs were on the hunt for this gentleman, as loads of clubs were saying, who is this gentleman, who is this gentleman, where is he from? But obviously football fans already knew who Joao Felix was. So it will be remembered that for some time, actually I think he was bought from Benfica. Yeah, that's where he was bought from, by Atletico Madrid, and Benfica definitely were more than happy to have this gentleman, and they had him for quite a lot of money. They had to pay a fee of more than they definitely had to pay a fee of more than 100 million pound then, and you can see that is quite a great investment for a club like Atletico Madrid, and they have been looking at making sure that they can have as much money, they can make as much money as they can from him. But things didn't go on quite well for them recently, as they failed to get some money off him in the summer transfer window. But right about now, they are performing, they are definitely getting things on quite well, as Mudryk is in the picture, and also this gentleman Joao Felix is in the picture for Arsenal. That's why Atletico Madrid are having it quite good. Let us know what you think in the comment section, so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are definitely dedicated to bringing to you the latest right here. So which part of the country are you watching from? Which part of the world are you watching from? All you need to do is to subscribe and ring that notification bell, so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are always the first people to bring it to you straight, live and clear. So you remember that Joao Felix actually are looking at the possibilities, all the possibilities of any other club signing him. There was a little bit of competition. There was competition between two big clubs, and that is Arsenal and Chelsea. So Chelsea recently also showed quite a lot of interest in Joao Felix, but things didn't go on quite well for them. They wanted this gentleman to go and play for them. The Chelsea aren't doing quite well. You already know Chelsea aren't playing quite well, so they wanted this gentleman to go over and play for them, but things did not go on quite well for them. Also, another club actually that wanted this gentleman, he was also linked to Manchester United, but Manchester United has reportedly pulled totally out of the Joao Felix transfer. Manchester United has totally pulled out of the Joao Felix transfer. So where are you watching from? Which part of the world are you watching from? We are live in the United Kingdom. Just make your point, subscribe and ring that notification bell, so you do not miss out on what if we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are always the first people to bring it to you straight as it comes and straight as it is. So it will be remembered still Still talking about the Joao Felix transfer. Talking about the Joao Felix transfer, I do remember that Joao Felix is one of the biggest, one of the best football players. I think one of the best football players of his time. And right about now, you know that for Joao Felix to come to Arsenal, it will definitely mean quite a lot. When you look at the Premier League table and you see how Arsenal has been playing, how Arsenal has been performing, Arsenal has been performing quite well. But there is an injury somewhere. Gabriel Jesus has got an injury, and that is one of the reasons as to why he's actually being. That's one of the reasons as to why he's being looked at as a possible replacement, because Gabriel Jesus has an injury of 3 months. He's got an injury that will last him at least more than at least 3 months, but rumor has it that it could be actually more than 3 months. Still, you can let us know what you think in the comment section, so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you. As long as it is sported, as long as it is Arsenal related, we are definitely dedicated to bring to the latest right about now as we talk. As you already know, that things definitely have been going on quite well for the club, Arsenal, and when you see how they definitely have been performing, you can definitely tell that there is quite a lot of hope in the Premier League title. There is big hope, there are big chances in the Premier League title, as you already know that in the Premier League title, if you've seen the Premier League table, you know that there is quite a lot of chances for Arsenal to get this done, for Arsenal to get this going, to make sure that they can take the title. There is quite a lot of chances, so I think it's going to be quite a bit competitive, as the points that are in there are little for Arsenal to take the Premier League. The difference actually, the difference is quite small between Manchester City and quite small for Manchester City, as when you see the difference between Manchester City and also Arsenal. When you see the difference between the two, Manchester City and Arsenal, the difference isn't quite big. But if Arsenal keep on playing the way they are playing, that means that the Premier League title could be on table for them. But definitely, what needs to be done? General transfer window should be used. General transfer should be used as a big tool for Arsenal to make sure that they can land the best signings, and signings who are going to compete, football players who are going to compete in this general transfer window, who are going to compete until possibly the end of the window, so that they can take the Premier League title. With that big competition that is in there, things definitely have to go on quite well for them if they are injecting the money. So still talking about Joao Felix, and we need to see how much he's worth and things like that. So it will be remembered that the 23-year-old still young. He has when you see the table 20, he's got quite a lot of experience. Actually, before I thought possibly he was even older than that, but it comes out that he's only 23 years old, and at 23 he's played against the big clubs. He's definitely played against big clubs, and he definitely fears nobody. He doesn't fear anyone. When it comes to football, he plays as much as he can, he plays as well as he can, and that's quite good for him. So when you see again the fact that what is being offered for him, the amount of money that is being put on table, what Atletico Madrid actually want for this gentleman, is a little bit high. Atletico Madrid said they want £1 million this gentleman to be done. £1 million, and how long is it going to be? Because this gentleman was bought at £100 million, and Atletico Madrid is just loaning this gentleman, Atletico, this gentleman pound, and £19 million in a period of 6 months. So does he come in as a perfect football player for this time? And is it worth for Arsenal to get this gentleman for only 6 months, and they pay a big amount of money of 19 million pound. It would be remembered that the 19 million pound. What's up? Are you okay? So we'll remember that 19 million pound. You'll remember that 19 million pound that they have to pay to Joao Felix. Okay, 19 not Joao Felix but to Atletico Madrid. 19 million pound includes 13 million pound for the contract, and then 6 million pound in wages, and that's quite a lot of money. That's quite a lot of money for of time, which is 6. Anyway, let's see how it will go. But I personally think that is quite a long period of time. But if the club is eyeing, the league title come in hand, claiming the Premier League title, that will definitely come in handy. And you can see, you can definitely see that if they get him in the general transfer window, that definitely means that there is a big opportunity. If they get him in the general transfer window, there is a very big opportunity in the general transfer window. There's a big opportunity in the summer transfer window to retain him. So if they get him this time, that will mean for 6 months, that will mean they could be injecting quite much more money to make sure they can have him as a permanent signing, possibly the next time 6 months get that is done. What Arsenal are looking at, Arsenal need actually more. They should get more options. Who is at the bench? They should be looking at who is at the bench, who is capable of doing better, who is not doing well, and also who is doing well. Push, but as personally think, Joao Felix, if he goes to Arsenal, it will be a great thing for Arsenal, because undoubtedly, as a person, anyway, many people, the amount of money that is being paid for this gentleman, the 19 million pound. Some people are saying that it's a bit high. But listening, everybody is a wonderful football player. Everybody knows that he is a very great one, a very good football player. But it will be remembered that despite the fact that he's a good football player, it doesn't take away the 19 million pound that they are talking about, that it is quite a big figure. It is definitely a very big figure. 19 million pound is a big figure for is a good. Arsenal as looking at getting this gentleman on long term. I would be okay with it if Arsenal are looking at investing the 19 million pound right now, and after the 6 months they can extend the contract by paying in quite a bit more money, then that's definitely okay. That's quite fine. But I think of course possibly let's wait and see what Mikel Arteta will go for and what his options are. Definitely options are. And latest, what you think him going to Arsenal? As right about now, as we talk, Arsenal are the favorites in this one, and I think that as we take it is everything for this gentleman to join Arsenal. And as it stands per now, no worries. As it stands per now, things are definitely going on YouTube? Quite well. Yeah. You okay?
Guys, what's the name on YouTube?
You're subscribed.
Yeah.
Arsenal diehards.
Arsenal diehards.
Yeah. Do you support football?
Yeah.
Are you support football? Yeah, I'm gonna. Club do you support?
Who's playing today? Because I have
Can I say something?
Can
I say something?
Yeah.
Mergem la iute un afru, nu mai vreau să mor. Ciu, un calu ciu.
What does that
Florin zâna lui Bian.
subscribe this man
to get load of.
Can you put your name over here?
Okay.
Yeah. Exact. Mâncam mai pulă de călumici care este să more mămărița șefa. Exact. Când mai vei ce mă câtește.
Where are you from?
Thank you. Romania, can we...
Oh, Romania.
Who's playing today? Can you tell us who's playing
Who's playing today? There is Liverpool. Liverpool is playing Wolves today. Wolves.
Oh.
Yeah, where you support Liverpool? Guess.
Well,
I hope so.
I'm a subscriber.
You're gonna subscribe. I'll be happy when you do it.
No, we'll be with the Wolves as well.
Okay.
With the Wolves?
Okay. Okay. Niceness. Say. Okay. Thank you for being part of the podcast and doing such a do on whatever we've got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are definitely going to bring to you the latest straight as it is, as we've been talking about Joao Felix and him joining Arsenal. Which part of the way just make and ring that a notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. So we've been talking about Joao Felix. As it stands, Joao Felix has quite a big possibility of him joining the club, and we are possibly thinking it is going to be you support
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Yeah, come on.
What about you?
Man United, yeah.
Who is going to take the Premier League title? Whom do you think?
You saying, lad? Man U.
Man U or Arsenal?
Not
But Arsenal the first.
right now.
And how they play? Do you think they are playing okay, or do you think they are going to lose it when in the near future? With
100% bottle it. They're gonna bottle it and smash. Saliba's gonna get injured. His ankle's gonna come to pieces. Saka's just gonna flop. It's gonna be funny. City, they're 100 man, and they're just coming again. United fans gonna cry about it.
So again, let's talk a little bit about Arsenal, okay? A little bit about Arsenal, then possibly. So, have you heard of a player called Joao Felix?
Yeah.
Being a possible training. What do you know about Joao Felix? Do you think he's a good football player, and he's been loaned at £19 million for 6 months? What do you think about that?
Overpriced. Loan players not be that much.
That's it, you know what I mean?
15 million.
Good, yeah.
What's it called? Felix, good player though. He's a good player.
Good player.
A bit weak though. A bit weak. A bit skinny.
A bit skinny.
Yeah, a bit skinny.
He's not got meat on him.
No meat, no nothing. Just skin and bone. He's gonna come to the Prem and get battered about. Yeah.
So you reckon the Premier League is a bit different from where it is?
A bit, yeah. Like you go to Spain, you don't have fucking 6'6" Lewis Dunk, do you?
No chance.
You're gonna dunk on him, yeah.
So he's got. Do you reckon that he's got no chance of him coming and performing?
He might get.
As it stands per now,
Right now.
it looks like Manchester United have pulled out of the transfer.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the general transfer window, but it looks like Manchester United has pulled out of the Joao Felix. There's been a bit of competition between Manchester United, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Yeah.
And as it stands per now, as it stands right now, Manchester United look to be off of it. And the two clubs that are still standing are Chelsea and Arsenal. But Chelsea are also looking at that figure of £19 million, and they are like, what? And I think Arsenal is the one that is going to have that. Anyway, again, have you heard about a Ukrainian football player called Mudryk?
I've heard about him.
You've heard about him?
Yeah, I know Arsenal want him. I know Arsenal want him. Don't know much about the guy.
You don't know much about the guy?
No, I don't know much.
Okay.
All I know is he's pretty much trapped in Ukraine.
Yeah, he's a bit trapped in Ukraine.
Like a prisoner.
Yeah, he's playing for a club called Shakhtar Donetsk, and Shakhtar because they see him as a very great football player. They see him as a very wonderful football player. So they are looking at getting possibly more than 100 million pound off him. Yeah, 100 million pound. That's what his price tag is at the moment.
Like he's trying to get released on bail or something from Ukraine.
He also said actually he liked an Instagram post where someone was saying he's being imprisoned in Ukraine by Shakhtar. Shakhtar doesn't want to leave him alone. Anyway, thank you for being part. Niceness, and thank you for being part. Which club do you support?
Manchester United.
This is Arsenal diehards. Yeah, so look for any club and put diehards. You'll possibly. Thank you for being part. Anyway, thank you for being part of this, and make your point. Subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you as we are talking sports right here at Arsenal diehards, and things are definitely going on quite well for the club Arsenal. When you see the title race, Arsenal are still in it. With being the favourites, being the number one in this, they are definitely the fact that they are right on top. They come in as the number one favourites for the Premier League title, and I think things will definitely go on quite well for them. If they use the general transfer quite well, I think they're going to have quite a lot going on, and there will be positive results. There will definitely be positive results if they use the general transfer window quite well. So let's dig deep into the Shakhtar Donetsk football player Mikhail Mudryk. So it will be remembered that Mikhail Mudryk, who's been playing for Shakhtar Donetsk, he's come out and said he's definitely tired being at he's being it's like being in prison. That's why he's come out and said it's like being in prison, because Shakhtar Donetsk actually want this gentleman, but this gentleman is not very much interested in remaining at Shakhtar Donetsk. So Shakhtar Donetsk has put a 100 million pound 100 million actually euros, no pounds, 100 million euros price tag for this gentleman. So I think it's quite a lot of money, 100 million pound, and because Shakhtar need a lot of money off this gentleman, this gentleman also thinks that they are trying not to have they are trying to not sell him, but him as a football player, the fact that he supports a club that he's not even playing for, he supports Arsenal, and he's wanted to play for Arsenal for quite a long period of time. Definitely he's come out and said a few things about this gentleman, about the team. Many is about saying that leave so that he can go and play his football somewhere else, and that somewhere else that we are talking about is none other than Arsenal. So still let us know what you think in the comment section, so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are always definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest right here. As we talk about sports, we definitely talk about sports. We think things will definitely be going on quite well for the club, and digging deep, let's take for Ukraine in that, and quite Arsenal football players real man's move, saying that this gentleman is already this gentleman is definitely already an Arsenal football player, because he likes Arsenal and his wish is joining Arsenal. So there's also been a bit of competition between who is going to take this gentleman. Is it Chelsea, or is going to be Arsenal? So it's been a bit of competition, with Chelsea showing quite intense competition in this. So the fact that it's actually itself, Joao Felix, who's this guy now? Mikhail Mikhail Mudryk himself, he does not want to go to Chelsea. But Chelsea are offering quite a lot of money for this gentleman. This transfer has quite a lot of money in there. They are offering quite a lot of money for Mikhail Mudryk, and Mikhail Mudryk is not interested. At the end of the day, it will be remembered that at the end of the day, these football players also they have feelings like anybody else. They want to be happy. They want to be happy. It's not about it's going to be Arsenal before Arsenal match willing to be, and it will be a club if they definitely have him, as the possibility of having him definitely stands very, very high. The possibility of Arsenal signing this gentleman stand very, very high, quite big. So let us know what you think in the comment section now, so that you do not miss out on what if we've got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are always the #1 favorites right here, straight alive in the United Kingdom, talking about sports, talking about signing, and also as other have been like that. Definitely we'll talk about it. Remember that Yuri Tillmans is a very wonderful one. Yuri Tillmans is a good football player, and he was linked to Arsenal, and Arsenal were hoping to get Yuri Tillmans in the summer transfer window, but it didn't happen. What actually happened? What went wrong? Arsenal didn't have this gentleman, didn't have Yuri Tillmans in the summer transfer window. So is there any possibility for the club signing Yuri Tillmans in a period? I told them Tillmans has been playing for Leicester City for quite a long period of time, and he's been linked to a number of clubs, but there is nothing positive that has really come out just as yet, as the links of him joining Arsenal are quite low this time, compared to last time. In the summer transfer window, he was expected to join Arsenal, and the chance was quite high of him left him. Looking at how things have gone and who he has signed and how they have performed, looking at McInnes has performed quite well, and now Mikel Arteta is wondering. Mikel Arteta thought, actually not even Mikel Arteta only, the management at Arsenal thought they could get this young Brazilian superstar, he could come and play a few games, and possibly they could loan him, and he could not. Are always the favorites. We are definitely dedicated to bringing to the latest right here, straight as it comes. And we've been talking about again, the main people we're talking about today are two. That's #1 standing in the very first position, Mikhail Mudryk, and then Joao Felix, two wonderful football players that are most like end up, but we need to know more who is definitely not leaving the club, who is going to tear the club, things like that. So anyway, let me see what else can we talk about, what else can we talk about, which other football player you need. You can let us know in the comment section about the football player that actually out transfer. So sorry. from and which part of the world are you definitely watching from. Just make your point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sport and as long as it is Arsenal related. So let's get for those of you who've been asking quite a lot, people have been asking quite a lot, and things have definitely also been going well for the club Arsenal. When you look at the table, when you look at how things have been going on, definitely Arsenal is doing quite well. And we need to see who is leaving the club, who's remaining at the club, who is the club buying, and a few more things just like that. So let me see whom can we talk about. Otherwise, thank you for being part of this podcast. So make a point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sport and as long as it is Arsenal related. We're definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest straight as it is. Anyway, let's see. So you know that we are in the general transfer window, and we're talking a few things about the general transfer window with the main football player that is in focus. The main football player we're talking about today is none other than guess who? We're talking about Joao Felix, whose contract at Atletico Madrid should be running out in 2026, and definitely that shows you that he still has a bit of time on his contract, 4 years on his contract, and is he willing to make sure that he can keep at Atletico Madrid for such a long period of time, or it is not the thing that he is going to do. And Arsenal stand the biggest of chances to sign this gentleman, as all the competitors are definitely out of this. Looking at who is competing, who has been competing, Chelsea have tried to make sure that they can have this gentleman, but they have failed. And also, apart from Chelsea, Manchester United pulled out. The main reason as why Manchester United pulled out of the Joao Felix transfer is simply because of the £19 million that was asked by Atletico Madrid, which was said to be quite a lot of money. Looking at £19 million, it's definitely a lot of money for 6 months, and that's why Erik ten Hag, Manchester United coach, said he will not be having this gentleman. But the urge for having this gentleman is definitely at Arsenal. As you already know, Arsenal is at the top of the table, and they want to make sure that they can. The Arsenal are looking forward to make sure they can maintain the position. Now they want to remain at the first position. They want to remain in the first position because when you look at the first position with 44 points, Arsenal, Manchester City is just is down, and not by very many points, and that's a big reason as to why they are looking forward to making sure that everything they want goes on quite well for them. With 39 points, that leaves a gap of 5 points. And 5 points, you're definitely not so safe with Manchester City. When Manchester City is, you're winning Manchester City, you're beating Manchester City by 5 points, is definitely not enough. The fact that Arsenal needs to win quite many football games, Arsenal definitely needs to win many football games so that they can do things quite well. They can get on things quite well. Let us know what you think in the comments section, because anyway, now with Joao Felix, why Arsenal should invest in Joao Felix and getting Joao Felix as right about now, Arsenal are the favorites for Joao Felix, and the money that is being invested in, the money that is definitely being invested in is quite a lot. Arsenal are investing in quite a lot of money in this general transfer window, simply because they are the first in the Premier League just right now as we talk. When the season had just begun, I will remember that when the season had just begun, many people said Arsenal will just be on top of the table for just maybe a month or so, but it definitely didn't go as they had planned. People were saying quite a lot about this club, about Arsenal, saying they won't maintain the pressure, but definitely they have tried their level best. They have done whatever they can. They've made sure that they get a few players. When you look at the summer transfer window, the shopping was definitely on point. Everything done quite well, and things went on quite well, I must say. It will be unfair if you say Arsenal haven't been playing quite well. With a very young squad, Mikel Arteta has managed to rebuild his squad, rebuild his team. Restructuring is what has been going on for a long period of time at the Emirates, and positive results have been gained at the Emirates. Otherwise, thank you for being part, and if you've not yet subscribed, please make your point, subscribe, ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We are always the first people to bring it to you straight, live, loud and clear. So let's get much deep into this. Let's talk more about this, about Joao Felix. If you think Joao Felix should come to Arsenal, give us a thumbs up, and we will definitely be grateful, as Joao Felix could be helping Arsenal win the English Premier League title. As you know that different options are needed at the club. The club definitely needs different options. The bench should be strong. The bench should be very, very strong, extremely strong, just in case. Anyway, other people that have been linked to Arsenal, there's been Declan Rice. Declan Rice, before we go back to Mudryk and Joao Felix, it will be remembered that Declan Rice, the Arsenal boss Arteta has reportedly given the green lights for the Gunners to make a shock bid for Declan Rice this general transfer window. It will be remembered that the boss himself wants Declan Rice, and he has said that Declan Rice is definitely a good one who could help Arsenal gain points, gain points as many points as they can, to make sure that they can stay far away from Manchester City, because City is just closed. City is just closed, very close. Anyway, if you've not yet subscribed, please make your point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, so that you do not miss out on what we have got to bring to you, as we're talking about major transfers in this transfer window, as we have been talking about Mudryk, and also I've been talking about Joao Felix. So if you think Mudryk is the right man, anyway, if you had to choose between Mudryk and Joao Felix, who would you take? Whom would you definitely take? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Time it's definitely taken Mikel Arteta a little bit of time to restructure the club, and I don't think that it will come in quite easily for them, for Mikel Arteta to sell football players, as many clubs are looking at the talent that is at Arsenal, that is many players that is at the club, and the mere fact that they are playing well. They are definitely playing well. That's why clubs like Paris Saint-Germain, clubs like Real Madrid, clubs like Atletico Madrid, after Manchester City, after football players, football players, and that is actually what happened to Leicester City. Leicester City, well, City played very well when they were they played well when they took the title. They definitely played well, and everybody was eyeing these players. And what happened? All the players were shipped, and you can see how they are playing right now. It's because most of the players definitely left. So I think that Mikel Arteta should see this and also learn from it, and not just allow things to go on just the way other clubs wanted, if other clubs want to buy players from Arsenal, then I don't think, given that, because it's taken a little bit of time to get the club to where it is. So just giving off the football players, because many football players have been linked to an exit, but I don't think it will happen, and I don't think Mikel Arteta is done for that to definitely happen. So let us know what you think in the comment section. Do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to, as long as it is, as long as it to bring to you. We've been talking about, we're definitely talking about Joao Felix and Mikhail Mudryk, as Joao Felix, who is an Atletico Madrid football player and also Portuguese international, who's played quite well at the World Cup, and he's had a few differences with his manager Simeon, and he's pushed it out of he's definitely been looking at an exit from Atletico Madrid, and I think he's going to get his exit very soon, and very soon, as Arsenal are seeing possibly they can have him for the 6 months at 19 million pounds, and then they could possibly make him and his a permanent deal after the 6 months. So it could be quite a bit challenging, could be a little bit challenging. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. We will definitely see how all this goes. But as it stands by now, Arsenal are the favorites in the Joao Felix transfer. They are definitely the favorites in the Joao Felix transfer. Now again, Joao Felix, the club, whether you think it's going to be a great one, whether you think it's going to be a wonderful signing, whether you think it's going to be just a waste of money, you can also let us know. Anyway, leaving Joao Felix alone, we can get to terms that Mikhail Mudryk is definitely Arsenal. The fact that he's pushing so hard, very hard, hard enough to make sure that he just gets to the club and plays for the club, because it's going to be a dream true come for him, because he promised himself when he was a young football player that possibly I promised himself that when he was a young football player that he was going to play, he will be him. So with everything that has been talked about this gentleman, and he is definitely a social media person. He's always on Instagram, TikTok, and stuff like that, posting about things like that. He's watched almost every little game. He watches all the games that Arsenal has to play. Let's watch extra how problem to the rest of the clubs the coming season. How will he know the coming season, actually this very season, because Arsenal are looking at getting him, and the possibility of getting him is way too high, almost 90%. The fact that Chelsea is a bit is trying quite hard. Chelsea is definitely trying hard to get this. He's interested in Chelsea visit to weekend, but all in vain, and nothing definitely happened. Nothing went on quite well for them. So I think it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be okay for the club, as they are the favorites. Arsenal are the favorites in all this, and they are going to be signing this gentleman. I think it is definitely quite high as it stands right about now. Otherwise, thank you for being part of this podcast, and make your point, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is related. We definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest, as we have been talking about two wonderful football players, the Shakhtar Donetsk football player Mikhail Mudryk, and also the Ian football Mudryk and Joao Portugal. Otherwise, let us know what you think in the comment section, so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you. As long as it is sports, we definitely are dedicated to bringing into you the latest right here. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out. Hello.
Hello.
Which club do you? Where or what's your position in the Premier League?
Oh, I gotta be left wing or something, you know.
I mean position
What do you mean?
on the table.
Oh, don't talk about that.
Okay. Who's gonna win?
I think Arsenal.
You think Arsenal are going to win? You think
Arsenal.
Liverpool are going to win? Really?
Yeah,
Why do you think Liverpool will win?
Nah, way.
Nice shot.
Anyway, thank you for being part of this and make your point. Subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on what if we've got to bring to you as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. We definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest as we sign out.